You might want to start an online business, but you might be afraid it'll flop, that you'll spend months building something that no one buys. Fair enough, because most online businesses do fail, but not these. Today I'm going to break down the 5 online businesses that almost never fail. This is backed by data, all with proven track records, high success rates, and that I've either built myself or seen succeed repeatedly with my students inside the $100 MBA. I'm going to rank these from lowest to highest success rate based on real world data, not dreams. Let's start with number 1, which has a 40% success rate. Not bad, not the best. We're going to get there at the end. But that's freelancing and coaching. You've got a skill: writing, marketing, design, coding, even career coaching. You're offering it directly to others for a fee. That is basically what this model is. Why does it work? Well, it requires nearly zero startup capital. You can find your first client in a week. You can learn how to sell and deliver and manage customers very fast because you're going to be learning on the job. So it's quite easy to get started, but also to get traction quickly. Why does this business model fail? Well, the reason why I'm actually pointing out why they fail is so that you can look out for these things and prevent these from happening. Number 1, burnout. A lot of freelancers burn out because they never actually scale. They never actually delegate and hire other people. Number 2, the inability to charge high enough rates. You need to continue to increase your rates as you get better at what you do. And then finally, poor client management or communication. When you're serving people, when you're providing a service, communication is everything, because communication lines up expectations. So how do you make it work? How do you make it successful? Well, number 1, you want to specialize. Don't be a life coach. Be a career coach for first-generation immigrants who want to break into tech. That's very specific, right? You're specializing in people that are in tech, that are first-generation immigrants, that don't understand the culture of their world. Next, you want to productize your services. Offer 3 clear packages is a good place to start. Also, you want to focus on results. People pay for transformation, an end result, not hours. A $100 MBA student named Tasha went from offering general copywriting services to niching down to email sequences for course creators. In 6 months, she was booked out. She had no audience prior to this, just a clear offer and just some hustle outreach. Second business model that has a pretty decent 50% success rate: productized services. This is coaching or freelancing leveled up. You can take your skills and turn them into repeatable offers that don't require constant custom work. These are like predefined packages that people can choose from. Think like podcast editing packages or website design services. Like, I'll get your website designed in a week. That website is 5 pages, for example. That's one package. Maybe monthly blog post bundles. So, for example, you write 4 blog posts for every month and it gets sent to them in Google Docs. Why does this work? Well, it scales better than one-on-one freelancing. Also, buyers love clarity and predictability. So it's clear what they're getting. And it's also easier to delegate and then eventually step away from this business because you can create procedures and SOPs and a way to create each of these packages and deliver these packages to customers. Somebody else can do it for you, and then you benefit from just having other people's time, leveraging their time and effort in order for you to grow your business. So what's my advice to make sure that this business model works? Well, define your scope, exactly what you're offering, what people will get. Next, price based on value, not time, what they're going to get for what they're paying. Also, use a system, templates, standard operating procedures, documentation. Google Docs is going to be your friend here. Here's a real example. I had a website creation agency where I created websites for bloggers and creators. I had defined packages: a 5-page website, a 7-page website, and a 10-page website. And then I had some add-ons if they wanted some custom animation or some fancy things on their website. But the point here is that if someone's just getting started, they're like, hey, I don't need all the bells and whistles, just give me the 5-page website. And I created a 5-page website for them in a short period of time, got them up and running. I showed them how to add their content, and that's it. I delivered it. I got paid. It was clean. They knew exactly what they were getting. I didn't have to waste time, days or even weeks creating custom deals or packages for my customers. They knew exactly what they're getting from the pricing page. They purchased it. I delivered it. The third business model has a very good success rate, and that's up to 60% success rate, and that's digital products, courses, templates, and guides. This is where it gets exciting. You can create a product once and sell it many times. But here's the thing most people don't tell you about this. Courses fail when they're not based on real world demand. Why does this model work? Well, because it's low cost to produce, okay? You have infinite scalability, which means that once you create your thing, your course, your template once, you're basically just selling logins or delivering that template to them. Also, buyers love learning on demand. They love the fact that, hey, I need to learn this right now. Let me buy this thing and I can learn on my own pace. Here's my advice on how to make this business model work. Solve one problem that your potential customer has and get them a result fast. Sell them the outcome, not the information. So you're gonna sell what their life is like afterwards, what their business is like afterwards, not how many videos or how many pages are in the workbook. That doesn't really matter actually. In fact, if you could get them to get that skill or get the result without any work or any workbooks or any videos, that would be even better. So the actual number of modules and videos is kind of irrelevant. Really what you're selling is a result. A real example is my program called the $100 MBA. Our students take it because they're kind of tired of side hustling or thinking about starting a business and they want to just get started. And our program allows them to have the skills to not only get started, but grow and scale their business to $1 million. So as you can see, it's all about the results. It's all about the tools and what they're going to get for what they sign up for. Business model number 4, memberships and subscriptions. Now we're up to 70 to 80% success rate. You create content or offer a service on an ongoing basis, giving you recurring revenue, and people pay you monthly or yearly to stay in. Community memberships, think newsletter subscriptions, think content vaults and tool libraries. So why does this work? Well, again, recurring revenue means predictable revenue. Customers become loyal and long-term buyers. Also, the barrier of entry is less because they're not buying the whole thing up front, like lifetime access to the course. And it's easy to upsell, cross-sell, and grow with this model. So my advice to make this work is nail your onboarding. Deliver value from week one because retention is the key to success in this type of business. You want to make sure your customers are happy and they don't have buyer's remorse and they stay customers. Remember, if you have a monthly recurring type of bill that they get, you have to win them over every single month. You're like selling the program every single month and making sure they get value. In this model, having a community and having connection is really important. It's not just about the content, it's about the community built around the content. And then lastly, retain members with monthly wins and feedback loops. So you want to make sure the members know that this works, that they're actually getting something out of it, and other people are winning with this community. So you want to give shout outs, you want to praise your members, make sure that you highlight the wins that they're all having. For example, a student of mine runs a paid community for Etsy sellers at $29 a month. She has 700 members now, and what started as just a side hustle is now her full-time income. Business model number 5, SaaS. Bootstrapped and niche is what I recommend, and this has an 80% success rate. Now, you'll notice that this is the top one, and it's the one that's gonna cost you the most time and money. And because of that investment, you actually buy a high success rate. Now we're talking long game. Software as a service is hard. I'm gonna tell you firsthand, I built a software company myself, Webinar Ninja, built it to 30,000 users, got acquired. I've been through the whole journey. But when you bootstrap a business and you are focused on a niche, it has some of the highest success rates in online business. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because SaaS revenue is reoccurring, it's sticky, it's based on delivering value, not time. And SaaS becomes an indispensable tool for a business, for somebody's life. And it just becomes something that they rely on. And therefore, every new customer you get new recurring revenue, growing your wealth in the business. So why does this work? Customers don't churn if you solve a real pain. If you have a real pain and you do it right, it's very hard to lose a customer. It's also very high margins, and the margins get even higher the more customers you have. And of course, exit potential is huge. If you want to build real wealth in your life, meaning you want to create an asset like a business, and software has a really good potential for building an asset because software businesses sell at a very high multiple. You could potentially sell this business at some point and really not have to work for a very long time. But only when done smart. This is my advice when it comes to this type of business, which I'm very acquainted with. Number one, make sure you validate your idea because you want to make sure you're solving a problem that's very painful. Don't build it first, validate its concept first, and see if you could pre-sell the product before you actually build it. Next, try to focus on a very specific audience. Don't try to cater to everybody like Spotify. I actually recommend B2B products in SaaS rather than B2C or business to customer. When you're getting started, build slowly and build properly so that you don't have what's called tech debt. Tech debt is when you build very fast and you make mistakes, and then that bites you in the rear end later on and creates bugs and creates a slow program or a slow experience for your customers. Build properly, even if it means slowly in the beginning, and make sure you continue to earn the trust of your customers by having a high quality experience, even if it's a simple experience. Like I mentioned, I have an extensive amount of experience with this, building my software company, Webinar Ninja. I pre-sold my software with a landing page, sold 250 beta spots before I wrote a single line of code. That was the green light to build the product and gave me the cash to hire a developer. That's how you launch a SaaS without raising money or going broke, and also not building the wrong thing, validating first. So which should you start? Well, here's the key. Start with what gives you momentum and early wins. Use it to fund the next stage. You could start one of these businesses, make some money, and then start a different type of business. And that's just part of your business journey. If you're starting from scratch, start with freelancing or productized service. Make some cash. Have a business on your hands. Learn some lessons on how to run a business. Then roll those profits into a digital product or a membership, and then even a SaaS once you know your audience better. Here's the truth. I've seen it again and again. It's not about the model. It's about you. Any of these businesses can work, but only if you do, right? Stick with one, commit, don't dabble. If you build trust, offer real value, and improve a little bit every single month, you'll be shocked how far you'll go in a year. Thanks for being part of the podcast, being a listener, being a subscriber. If you made it this far, that means you're a doer, you're a completionist, you're my kind of person. If you want to go deeper with me, I highly recommend you sign up for our free newsletter. It's called 3 Things Newsletter because I send you 3 things every single week. 1, I send you something to think about to help improve your mindset. Number 2, I send you something to do so you're getting things done and building upon action after action every single week. And number 3, something to learn so that you're skilling up and becoming something new just a little bit every single week. Just go to 100mba.net and sign up for any of our free resources, and you'll get added to our newsletter automatically. Thanks again, and I'll check you in the next one. I'll see you then.